Hey guys, welcome to this video and my channel. My name is Heather. I am the owner and creator here at Wicked Whiskey Designs, and today it is all about plastic wrap. Look at all of that. Isn't that freaking gorgeous? Easy to do. You're adding alcohol ink to a piece of plastic wrap. You're wrapping it around your tumbler. You're letting it dry. You're taking the plastic off and then running it under epoxy, and you are good to go. You end up with an absolutely gorgeous tumbler, okay? Ton of color, ton of fun. So this is what we're working on today. Don't forget to check the description box below. You'll find all of the codes for everything that I've used on this tumbler, all of the products. There may even be a coupon code or two down there too as well. Like and subscribe. You know, this is a relatively new channel. I have a ton of new content on its way. You definitely want to get notified of when those videos drop. Last but not least, don't forget to hang out to the end of the video for the tips and tricks sections where I share with you all of the tips and tricks that I learned along the way with making this cup so that you can make this cup as perfect as possible the first time around. So definitely check that part. It's a little more chill, a little more relaxed. I kind of ramble a little bit, but you kind of get used to that. Anyway, that pretty much wraps up this intro. I'm going to go ahead and get started, show you everything you need to make this tumbler. Hey guys, what are we doing today? I am so excited for this. We are doing a saran wrap tumbler. Now this technique has been around for a few years, kind of before I started, or right when I first started doing tumblers, so that's probably why it didn't hit my radar. But there I was trolling my little self on YouTube, just, you know, rabbit holing into everything. And I found this technique. People are doing this and it looks amazing, so you know that's what we have to do today. We are going to basically start with a white spray painted tumbler. We're going to lay out a big old piece of plastic wrap. We're going to add a bunch of alcohol inks to that plastic wrap, and we are going to wrap aforementioned white tumbler. We're going to let it dry. We're going to take the saran wrap off, and then we're just going to sit back and be amazed at how amazing it looks. That's what we're doing. I've gone back and forth on whether or not to glitter this because, you know, when in doubt, add more glitter, and all things should be glittered. But I don't think I'm glittering this. Not at first. My thought process is this. When you glitter something and put epoxy on it and then you add alcohol ink, even though it's white, let's say we did like a white opal glitter on this, it's different than if it goes on white spray paint. White spray paint makes everything it has like an opaque background. So it's a little bit different than if you put it on glitter and epoxy, and that becomes more see-through. The ink does, which in theory would be more what we want because we want it to look very stained glass-ish, but it's not what I want. So we're going to try it without the glitter, and then maybe we'll do one down the road with glitter. And you know, I've kind of looked at both of them, and I have to say I'm kind of a fan of it without the glitter as the base. But you know we're going to add glitter to it somewhere, right? You know that. So that is what we're doing today. Let's go get started. I'm excited. I literally, you're not even going to believe this. Like I saw this and I was like, oh, we have to try that. I don't have saran wrap in this house. I hate saran wrap. I'm sorry. I don't like using plastic wrap. I just don't. I never have. So I don't have any. And I'm like, I live next door to my mother. Here I am messaging my mom. She didn't answer. Called my mom. She didn't answer. I waited 10 minutes. Finally, knock, knock, knock. Do you have saran wrap? So yeah, that's how excited I am to do this. So let's go get started. Okay. Let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is show you the colors. I am using a neon yellow, a marigold, which is kind of like an orangey yellow. I've got hot pink by Picasso. I've got, what is this? Fuchsia by Picasso. I have manganese, I know I'm not saying that right, blue, also by Picasso, and blue-green by Picasso. When it comes to alcohol inks, Pinata is my favorite. It is bright and vibrant and all things good. However, it can be a little pricey. And sometimes the colors are, depending on where you're able to purchase them, sometimes the colors can be limited. So there is nothing wrong whatsoever with going on Amazon and buying a 30 pack of colors for 20 bucks. That's what these are. I love those little guys. As far as a comparison to Pinata, you know, let's say if Pinata's a 10, these are like an 8, maybe a 7, maybe an 8.5, somewhere in that wheelhouse. There's nothing wrong with them. I use them all the time. So just keep that in mind if you're trying to cut costs or, you know, fill in the blanks and just have a bunch of extra, you know, colors that maybe you're not able to get with some of the larger brands. So there's your PSA for the day. What we are going to start with, we're going to move all this out of the way. I'm going to try to do a rainbow. Now, of course, I'm trying to put all these colors on a not huge cup, but it is what it is. First thing we're going to do, we're going to pull out, okay, first thing we're going to do is pull out a small piece of plastic wrap. Wrap it around your cup, okay? So this basically fits all the way around. One thing, I've done this cup 4 times. I've had a lot of fun playing with this cup, but one thing you got to keep in mind, or at least for me, I know what I do, is I pull out this huge sheet of plastic wrap, cover the whole thing in ink, go to wrap it, and it's only needed like 2/3 around the cup. So all this design ink idea I have on this side of the cup is completely wasted. So it's not necessarily a bad idea to get an idea of how much plastic wrap you're really going to need, so you can kind of plan your design accordingly so you're not disappointed because your purple didn't make it on the cup. So that being said, I'm going to pull out my saran wrap here. By the way, I hate working with plastic wrap, so you might hear me swear a little bit. I only need like that much, so I don't need a lot. What I'm going to do is pull off this whole thing, lay it down gently. Lay it down gently. All right, whatever. That part's going to be fine. This is why I hate plastic wrap. Urgh. And knowing that all I need is this much, kind of gauge what kind of real estate I'm working with here. So pretty much just the middle. And that's fine. That helps me because that way it's okay if I go over a little bit. But, you know, like I said, you're planning designs that's coming all the way over here and then it's not needed. You're missing out. You know what I mean? You're not able to get the design you're looking for because all this real estate over here isn't needed. So I'm going to do a rainbow, but I'm not going to do a traditional rainbow where it's like, you know, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, you know what I mean? Like, we're going to do something a little bit different because I'm going to tell you one thing I learned with all of these little adventures with this cup. Yellow's the devil. Yellow can make or break your cup. So we're going to try something a little bit different. Instead of putting yellow next to a blue-green, because what's going to happen is when those mash together, we're running into the possibility of it looking like trash, like brown, icky, gross color trash. We are going to go ahead and hedge our bets. And what we're going to do, should I do this in a swirl? No, let's just try to do things basic here. We are going to go ahead and we're going to add our yellow. Okay, this is not a big cup, but we're going to go about, yeah, that's about right. And then we're going to come in with the orange on either side. Okay, we're going to open up our orange. Okay, so now we're going to come in with our orange kind of on either side of the yellow. All right, so that yellow is protected by orange. Then we're going to come in with pink next to the orange. See where I'm going with all this? And bring your colors out a little bit so it mixes in really nice with the next color. Then we're going to purple. In my head, this works real well, so we'll see. I already feel like I'm getting outside of my wheelhouse as far as space. Then we're going to go to blue. And then to a bluey green. I think this is going to work. I don't know. We're going to see. But I think it is. And like I said, yellow is the devil. Because, or at least for me, because I wanted something like yellow was going to pop with all this XYZ colors and, you know, be all these jewel tones and I will splash yellow to splash yellow. The yellow said, F you. And that yellow said, nope, I'm going to turn into brown and be icky. So we are combating that. All right. Now, I do wonder if I went down
far enough on the bottom. That seems to be one of the things I mess up consistently, is keeping in mind I have to cover the bottom. Now, is this really all that big of a deal? Like, no. Because what's going to happen is I'm just going to, if it doesn't, if I run out of space on the bottom, I'm just simply going to, you know, pull off a piece of plastic wrap and just, you know, put a little tapper on the bottom there. It's really not that big of a deal, but in the interest of being continuous with our thought pattern, and yes, I realized I forgot doing it up there, but whatever. Okay, this is where we're rolling with it. Okay, fingers crossed. Let's see how it goes. We are basically going to, I want that yellow part hardcore because it's fought me on all these cups. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to bring this side up, press it. I'm going to kind of wing it back just a little bit. All right. And I'm going to bring this side up and press it. Ooh, mama. All right. Tap that bottom down. That sounded a little bit bad. Sorry about that. Tap that bottom down. Oh, shut the front door. Oh, this already looks so pretty. Okay, now I'm happy. I am so freaking happy already, and the cup's not even done. All right. We're going to tap that down. Okay. Now, see all these little, where am I at? Where's my throne? See all these little crinkles? See all those? You want that. You want all of that. That's what makes this cup all crazy, ridiculously funky. So, make sure you get all your little crinkles. Don't just kind of tap all that in. Don't worry about that. We'll clean that all out with acetone later on, or alcohol or whatever. Oh, kids, I have tried this cup for 4 times to get it to where I want it to get. I wonder if that's glitter stuck on there. Wouldn't be surprised. Everything I own has glitter on it, including the dogs. Look at that. This has the potential of being earth-shatteringly amazing. Okay. You know what we're going to do now? Nothing. We're going to let it sit. Oh, by the way, number 1 rule of this game, wear your gloves. Okay, I've done 4 of these. This is the first time I'm wearing gloves. I'm still rocking alcohol ink on my hands from the last 3 times. So wear your gloves. Even if you never wear gloves, wear gloves. We all know I don't wear gloves. If I'm putting gloves on, kids, we all need to put gloves on. But as I was saying, we're going to let this sit. We're going to let that sit for minimum 3 or 4 hours. If you can rock it out longer, to like 24 hours, that's great. But we all know I'm not that patient. So we're going to come back to this afternoon because it's hot as hell in this garage right now. So this afternoon, we should be good to go. I'm so excited. This looks amazing already. Okay, stay with me. Okay, so I've waited as long as I can possibly wait. Look at this. Isn't this so pretty? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what we got. I hope it's dry. I can't wait any longer. I tried. I really tried. What? Oh, I'm not even to the cup yet. All right, let's see. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's just crazy. That is just crazy. You gotta be real gentle because if not, you can pull your ink off. Let's pivot. Let's do it this way. Let's do it this way so I don't get all the ink on me, as we all know I will. Oh, come on. I'm afraid to just rip it off. Oh. Look at that. Oh, get off. That is crazy cool. There's a couple little spots I could see here, like where it kind of pulled. I don't know if I even want to attempt to fix that. That is so cool. Ah, we love it. We love it. We love it. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to try to do a little TLC. This part I think came out ridiculously cool. It's got a couple little spots here where the saran wrap pulled the ink up. This side got a little bit crazy. It stuck and then it didn't stick. One thing I will say I've noticed on these, if you have a ton of ink on your saran wrap and you know, we have to mush it around the bottom and mush it around the top. If you have a lot, I've noticed that it'll sit there and kind of, every once in a while, it'll sit there and kind of like make that, kind of get underneath the paint or make it a little bit wrinkly. So I think we can figure out, I'm not going to pull that, like we can figure out something to fix that in some way or hide it or whatever, but just something to keep in mind. It doesn't happen all the time. It just seems to happen when there's a lot. So now I do not have a clean makeup brush or little makeup sponge to save my life. So we are going to try to use a clean section. I don't know that this will work. I don't know that it won't, but I figure we can kind of put a little bit of, where's my camera? There I am. A little bit of ink on there and see if we can kind of dabby dab. Like, let's be honest, it doesn't need to be perfect. Just something to kind of make it not so white. Yeah. Like I said, not really stressing too hard on that. But to make it even now I got to kind of go over here and do that. Now it's very, oh well. I'm not worried about that. Let's see. That little part right there, am I worried about that? I don't think I am, but as per usual, even when I think I should leave it alone, I'm still gonna go touch it. All right, let's see. Is that even the right color? No. Little dab will do you. Just rub it in, you'll be fine. Put some dirt on it. There you go. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care about all that. That is so freaking cool, though. Very cool. Do I hate the yellow? I don't think I do. I just feel like, oh shit. That's why I'm not supposed to touch things. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. Like, honestly, you see the pattern through it. It's pretty cool. Oh, that came out so neat. I wish this side had more pink. No, we aren't touching it. All right, we're going to let it be. Because I know me. Next thing you know, it'll be like all sorts of shit all over it. And yeah, there's that glitter piece. You're not supposed to live there. Oh, well. Whatever. Anyway. Ah, that came out so cool. I'm so happy with it. All right, now we're going to let it sit and rest. We're going to sit at rest. We're going to run some epoxy on it. Depending on how... Oh, I did not just get ink on my fake wood thing. Yes, you did. Excuse me. Son of a... That's right. I don't take pictures there anyway. Depending on how the epoxy... You know how sometimes you can put something under epoxy and like whatever was a little hiccup like magically disappears even though epoxy is clear? We're going to see how it runs under epoxy. I really don't think I want to add glitter to this, but if I have to kind of cover up that rim, I might. So in the meantime, we're going to let it sit. We're going to let it rest. We're going to let it find itself. And then we're going to send it for epoxy. This is just coming out so cool. I love this one. Okay, see ya. Bye.
Next, move your cup to your spinner and mix up your favorite epoxy. I use KS Lickety Split Fast Set Epoxy. And also be sure to add a little bit of diamond dust into your epoxy if you would like for this to sparkle. Go ahead and with a gloved hand evenly apply your epoxy to your cup. And don't forget to grab your torch and blow out all of your micro bubbles when you're done. Let your epoxy fully cure, and then I would say probably add another thin coat, and your beautiful cup is finally done. Hey guys, what's up? Look at this freaking cup. Is that not gorgeous? This is like, I know every week I'm like, this is mine. If I drank cups out of cups that were this small, I would claim it. I drink out of cups this big. So, because all I drink is coffee. But anyway, I digress. This was, okay, let's talk about this. We got things to talk about on this technique. It's easy. It's beyond easy. Like, I think you could literally like bust this thing out in like less than 2 minutes probably. It's very easy. It's a lot of fun because you can just go buck wild with your colors, but you need to know some things about this. First, First. Number one, when you're prepping your cup, sand it. You have to sand this cup. I know sometimes, you know, not speaking from personal experience, but maybe sometimes we get lazy and don't always sand our cups. This one you have to. And if you don't, I've been sitting there all night long going, why did this freaking happen? I'm going to tell you why. Hold on. You've got to sand your cup. You really do. If you don't, what happens is as you put all this alcohol in and you wrap it all up in your saran wrap and you got it all like down here, up here, all this stuff like this, that ink is going to pool at the base or at the top. Because I kind of kept flipping mine back up and down because I didn't know which way I didn't know what it was going to do. You know what I mean? Like I needed to just make sure there was ink everywhere, basically. If it pools and you don't sand your cup before you spray paint it white, like if you're taking that shortcut, again, no judgment, none whatsoever. But if you don't take the time to sand your cup, when it pools, it gets underneath the paint. So then you're like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. And you unwrap it and you're like, what the? Because you're all rippled right here. Okay. The first cup I did, I was all like, this is coming out so, what the hell? And all the paint, I mean, all the ink had gotten up underneath that edge. And this all just like, you could literally just go do this and all the paint and the ink just went away. So definitely, number one, sand your cup. Even if you're not a sander, sand your cup. Because yeah, as that ink pools on the top and the bottom, I don't know how it gets in the bottom. I'm not going to even try to, figure that part out. But it did happen to me on both the top and the bottom that it'll sit there and get under that paint and your cup is jacked at that point. Or at least that lip is. Unless you're going to put glitter on it, then who cares? But still, you know what I'm saying. That's number one. Number two. You'll notice in the intro, I started out like, here I am, we're going to do this project. It's just a great big cup. We'll go with it. When I say I've done this 3 times, I've done this 3 times. Actually, did I do it 4? I think I did it 4. I don't know. I did it multiple times because, okay, so the first time I did it with that great big cup, I am going through and I'm laying out all this ink and it's looking amazing. And I was like, let's add gold because I've got gold alcohol ink. That's a great idea, right? Absolutely. So I sit there and I go to open my gold. It won't open, or actually it's old. So I'm trying to open it and it's clogged. So I cut down real far on the little nozzle thingy, you know what I mean? And I sit there, I'm like, here, let's just add a little bit of gold, right? It went everywhere. It looked like this. Oh, shit. Yeah. But I still rolled with it. I'm like, you know what? It's going to be beautiful. It'll be great. Wrapped it all up. Let's go through a couple things. Number one, sand your cup. Number two, gold does not blend the way our minds want it to blend when working with alcohol ink on this project. It basically just stays, here's a gold spot, here's a gold spot, here's a gold spot. And as you just saw, my gold like went everywhere. And I was like, oh, those little flecks, it'll be okay. No, they don't do anything useful whatsoever. So if you are using gold and then I think on the second one, I even tried to like draw a little whoosha, 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 you know, like little lines. No, it's just, it doesn't blend. It just doesn't. So all you have is a splotch of gold. And if that's what you're going for, that's the look. That's cool. That'd be gorgeous with black. But for where I was trying to go with in my brain, it wasn't working. So I was like, wah, wah. So gold and metallics don't blend that way. Number two, to me, the success of your cup is going to depend on one thing, your decision tree when it comes to colors. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why I tried so hard to make this happen. I wanted, here's blues and purples and jewel tones, and then we're going to have a swatch of bright yellow and a swatch of bright yellow down here, and it's going to look amazing. Ah! And the problem with that is what happens when you take yellow and mix it with anything else, like a dark color, it turns like, it turns like trash. It turns into like brown, army green, kind of a baby poop color. And that's not the vibe at all that I wanted. I was so sad because the rest of the cup was like bagging, even though it had that big, you know, gold splotch on it. But the rest of it, the colors all blended so perfectly. And that yellow just was like, ugh. And so I was like, well, that's just not what we're going to do on this cup. Lesson learned. Okay. So then I was like, because there's different techniques to this. Like I watched a bunch of people make these, and some people are like, you don't need that much ink. Some people are like, you need a bunch of ink. And that's honestly why I kind of kept doing this, because every time when I did a cup, I learned, okay, this little thing that I like to add in my cups isn't going to work. So if I can't add this, what about this? Will this work? No. So I kind of I went into this cup with like, you know, here's a list of my demands, and the cup just did not negotiate with. So the second cup, I'm like, well, I'm going to show this cup. Fine. I won't do that. I'll go something different. So then I was like, I'm sitting here in my office. I'm like, this is my day planner. I love my day planner. I am a day planner girl. Okay. I am not a digital girl. I am a hardcover, write it down, scratch it off when you're done. Don't always make the list and rewrite it the next day, girl. So I was like, this is gorgeous. I'll go with this. Because I thought maybe, okay, so the first one, you know, I had all this purple, all this blue, all this everything. And I was like, what if I'm a little bit more methodical about it? Because I haven't given up on the yellow at this point. So I'm like, maybe if I go ahead and do like a little bit of yellow over here, blue over here, you know what I mean? So I was trying to actually follow, you know, this color vibe. I didn't put a lot of ink. I followed that. Instead of drowning it with a ton of ink, I just did a little bit of ink. It came out so light. The yellow still looked like crap. I got mad at that. I was like, okay. So obviously color choices are what is driving the success for this cup. Spray painted that. Did I redo it? I think I redid it. I don't know. And then I got it in my head. I was like, you know what? You want this freaking yellow so bad. Or no, I did a third one without the yellow. And then I was just like, well, that's not exciting at all. It could have just been me. Like, it could have just been me. I've kind of had a stressful week. Maybe I was just maybe I was demanding too much from this. Okay. And then I hit the mothership. Not the mother load, the mothership. Look at that. Shut the front door. That came out so pretty. And the reason why is choices. Okay. I wanted that yellow for some reason. Can I tell you, I don't even like yellow. I look horrible in yellow. I don't own anything yellow, but I had to have that yellow on there. So when I went through, I did the yellow, I did the orange on either side, I did the pink. You know what I mean? Like, I made smarter choices. And then it just ended up looking absolutely phenomenal. Your plastic wrap is... your plastic wrap can be little, your plastic wrap can be big, your plastic wrap can be name brand, your plastic wrap can be, you know, a knockoff, whatever. That part doesn't matter. You want to go ahead and start with your color choices. Pick color choices, put them next to each other that are going to work. Do not set yourself up for failure. If you know, this isn't like we're sitting here with a paintbrush and a little spongy sponge and we're like, we're going to make a marble, you know, design, and we're going to add some gold veining, and we should do that, shouldn't we? We should make that cup. Oh, that'd be pretty. Oh, we should make that marble cup. Oh, like a proper one. Oh, if you want to see that, leave me a message in comments, because I think we're going to add that to the list. But anyway, I digress again. I am very tired this morning and I haven't had enough coffee, so I apologize if this is all over the place. More than usual. Anyway, as I was saying, your plastic wrap. Lay out your plastic wrap. You saw in the video where I tore off a little piece of plastic wrap and wrapped it around the cup, just to get an idea of how much of this, you know, because I'm pulling off plastic wrap like this. How much of this area am I really going to use on a cup this size? So that helped me, because I am that person that's going to put ink on the whole freaking thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's just who I am. I'm going to cover that whole thing. Definitely give yourself an idea of how much you need, because again, if you're like, say you're doing a rainbow and you've got to start to finish, and then, but you only need this much of the plastic wrap on your cup, but your design goes out to here, you wrap your cup, all the ink you put over here is never even hitting your cup. So you might have a little bit of disappointment with that. Measure it out. It doesn't have to be precise. Just get an idea as far as on your sheet how much real estate you really need to work with. When I went ahead and laid down my ink, I didn't like drown it, but it was covered. Let's say a 90% coverage. I just like a lot of color. I didn't want to take the chance of going real sparse with the colors and then putting on the cup and then the colors being kind of pastel-y or not as vibrant or not as there. Even with really blown out ink, you can see like that's, you know, that's probably a little bit lighter than what I would have expected. So definitely, you don't need to drown it, but be heavy-handed with your ink. What else? My dogs are barking at everything this morning. I'm sorry. That's Bailey. She's my little, she looks like a rotisserie chicken, but you know, she's fierce like that. Anyway, so when you are done with adding your ink, you know, there's no right or wrong way to roll that up. I've seen some people pick up the plastic and place it on their cup. I just rolled it up. You saw me, I rolled it up, kind of flipped back any of the excess and then rolled up to meet it. And I think that's probably where that little seam comes into play. As I'm watching my fingernail, my very ratchet fingernail showing you the seam, wear gloves. If you are not a glove person, I am not a glove person, as we have all seen, okay? I am still rocking ink on my hands from like 2 days ago. So definitely wear your gloves before you start this project. In the end, I finally had to give in and do it too. So wear your gloves. Color choices, measuring. What else? Anything else? Let it dry. I have the patience of a gnat. So I went ahead and I pulled mine after a couple hours, but it was sitting out in my garage and it was like 85 degrees out in my garage. So I would say give it, you know, 3 or 4 hours minimum, maybe pull up, see exactly if it still looks wet, like too wet, like not touchable wet. Let it sit for a little bit longer. Overnight is probably, you know, better. Be careful when unwrapping your plastic wrap. Unwrap it very slowly. I had a couple spots where the ink pulled with the plastic wrap. It wasn't anything dramatic. The yellow, as you saw, like I went back with some alcohol and just touched up the yellow. I then went in after the alcohol ink was dry with a paper towel and a little bit of alcohol and kind of try to tone that down a little bit, because to me it wasn't so much that it was all the same color. It was splotchy. It was like dark, light, dark. It just didn't make sense. So I just kind of went back and took some of that ink off and evened it out. So, you know, definitely, you know, keep that in mind too. This is not something you can't fix. If you have a little oopsie, if it's something that's, you know, how do you say this? I guess I'm going to say use your decision tree again on that. Is it worth, if you have a tiny little spot that like the ink pulled up in the middle of something gorgeous, are you able to fix that? Or is you fixing that going to make it worse? And I had to kind of like, there was a spot, I don't know, maybe it was that one, that tiny little spot. And I was like, yeah, that looks good there. Like, you know, I'm not going to stress it, because I know sometimes when I go and fix things, you know, when you fix it the first time, you're like, oh, that's great. And then you go try and fix like 15 more things and you're like, totally screwed that up. Guess we'll restart that cup. I didn't feel like doing that for the 5th time. So again, super fun. Lots of fun to do. I went through and made all the mistakes for you on this one. I really did. Sand your cup, you know, wear your gloves, measure your real estate on your saran wrap. You know, choose your colors wisely. Honestly, to me, that is the #1 thing. I've seen people add yellow to some of these cups and they come out gorgeous. Me, it just wasn't working. It just was not working until I did it, you know, this way. So if you are a better person than me and can make that happen, God bless you. Go for it. But for me, I needed to, you know, work through my color, you know, work through my list of demands there. I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, let it dry, you know, 3 or 4 hours overnight if needed. I ran it with epoxy, a little bit of diamond dust on there, so it got a little bit of sparkle to it. I thought about adding, you know, glitter to it. You actually could. This would be absolutely gorgeous if you sat there and then did, like, treated this epoxy method and did, like an opal glitter on top. This would be gorgeous. That would be really, really pretty. So something to kind of think about. I think that pretty much wraps this up. I think we pretty much went over everything. Take your time with it. Figure out your colors, run with it. I mean, it's a lot of fun. This, I guess people have been doing this for years. it was not on my radar. I don't know how, but it's a lot of fun to do, and it really does come out beautiful. So have fun with that. Okay. Oh, and one last thing. I've had so many people ask me for random things that I use. The number one being these glitter shelves. Where did I get these glitter shelves? You'll see that in some of my videos, I have an electric mixer for my epoxy because I mix epoxy like trash. You know, where did you get your mixer? Where did you get this? Where did you get that? What do you use for this? I don't have an Amazon, almost everything I get from Amazon as far as those kind of things. So I don't have an Amazon storefront yet. I don't know. I haven't really put much effort into that part yet and figure out what I need to do, but I don't have one yet. So I basically put those items under the community tab on the Wicked Whiskey channel page. So not these tutorials, but if you go to like my main video page, you know, my main channel page, you'll see there where it says video, short list, or shorts, playlist, community. Under that community tab I'm kind of using that as like my little fake Amazon store. So anything as far as like what epoxy mixer I use, my measuring cups for epoxy, my glitter shelves, my, you know, the gloves I use, the parchment paper, the this, the that, anything random like that, or anything that I get from Amazon that's also used in these tutorials, that's where you're going to find that. So the alcohol inks that I bought off Amazon to make this cup are listed below in the description box. That will always be. But I'm also going to throw them over my little fake Amazon store on the community tab. So definitely check that out. They are affiliate links. So if you purchase anything through that link, you know, it gives me like 10 cents. And I'm happy with that. But just, you know, like I said, the weird random things that people ask me for, that's where it's going. So that's our new little fake store. So anyway, I think that's pretty much it. We've talked a lot this morning, but definitely try this cup. This is a lot of fun, so much fun. And like I said, go crazy with your colors, but yellow, watch yellow. Yellow is the one that's going to give you problems. But anyway, have a great week. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.